of the underworld. It would seem that you are finally prepared. But time itself is against us, and war has come to Mount Olympus. Shall you rush now to your family's defense, or shall you strike our enemy in the heart of the underworld?
You know me, Headmistress. I'll do both.
In troubled times, when the hordes beat at...
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Autumn Colors Podcast. I'm your shade of the night, the art Sozo-sha, and today I'm joined with the one that beat the game.
Yeah, it's, well, that's either of us.
It could be any of us, really. But for the sake of it, hey, how's it going? Name's Arashi. How y'all doing? I'm the frog that sits at the starting area.
Obviously. I haven't decided which one I am yet, so... Wait a minute, my name gives me away. Crap.
Are you gonna claw someone's eyes out?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Alright, so where do you want to start, Sozo?
I mean, I feel like we really should just kind of start at the beginning, all things considered, because I think all three of us have played this game when it was in early access and everything.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, so I feel like it's just right to kind of start of like where we sort of what we thought about when we first played it and to how we felt now after 1.0 has come out.
Okay. I'll start us off in that case.
All right.
Because when Hades 2 was first announced for early access, to be fair, I thought a lot of us, myself included, were still thought we were dreaming. It's like, but when I first played it on like early access, I was still of that mindset of, okay, it's their first sequel, how big could they possibly go? And then I started playing, because it wasn't just early access. It started with its initial global test to test the waters, as it were.
Yeah.
And it's like just that one area alone going through Erebus was its own area by itself. And I'm like, all of this was in the initial test. Oh my God, it could get so much bigger. And then early access hit. Oh my, and when they said that this game would be bigger than Hades 1, and Hades 1 was already massive. So that just left a lot of jaws on the floor. Like, what could they possibly do? And then as I kept playing, update after update, because I kept up with this religiously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even more than Sozo, which says a lot, because you love Hades.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, the more they put out, especially with the War Song update, like, where do you go from here? But now that a full release is out, I'm glad I stuck with this for as long as I did in early access, because I don't use it lightly. While it does have its issues, the game is nothing short of perfect. It's from character interactions to combat flow, heck, even all sorts of options you can do in the crossroads, in the route to the underworld. Hell, the fact that there is a whole technically a second game with the surface. It's like they really put their all into it, and I'm glad it got the success that it did.
Okay. So, am I next or Sozo next?
Either
Go
one.
next.
Well, most likely the longest, because I have a very long storied history with Supergiant. The Supergiant has always been one of my favorite developers. Ever since back when they first made Bastion, like I believe that was in 2010. But it was pretty much just they always made the 2011. My bad. Yeah, they always made really good games. They have Bastion, they did Transistor, they did Pyre, which if you haven't played Pyre yet, play Pyre. But then they made Hades, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the best game they've ever made. And I was so obsessed with it, especially when it got a Switch release, because then I bought it on the Switch and I had it on Steam. And I told Rashi, I was like, hey, you have to play this, by the way.
Yeah.
And so they started my absolute love and obsession with just Hades as a world, and when they finally revealed Hades 2, I actually screamed because I was like, nobody understood at the time, unless you were a Supergiant fan, how massive it is that they are doing a sequel this time. It was like, I didn't realize how big Hades was until they actually made a sequel of this game, and just it was so much better than the first game, and there's so much love and care put into it. And it's just, yeah, because it was at the end of the first game, it was just like, well, where do we go from this? Oh, well, you know, we could do this or this or this, or they could fight the Titans. You know? And it's like, yeah, they obviously followed through with that with Kronos. Now, I don't know how far we're allowed to go into our topic, our opinions of the actual story yet, but, the original ending that they had before an update was really, it wasn't bad, it was bizarre. It felt a little rushed. You know?
Yeah.
So, let's see. Yeah. I've pretty much always been a Supergiant fan since their beginnings, and I think I'll probably be one that for as long as they keep making games.
Essentially, but that's no.
That's
want me
about
to-
it for
You
me.
want me to tag in now, Smug? I'm on the ropes.
that's about it.
Tag up! Tag up!
Tag out.
Yeah,
Tag
that's about
out.
it. That's about it for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'm not... I would say out of everyone here, I would think that Smug is probably the most veteran of a Supergiant fan, because it was always that
I've played
company...
all their games.
Yeah, but at the same time, compared to me, it was always that company that was in the back of my ear. It was like, at the time, especially, like, it was like Atlas, it was like, the people that made, like, Yakuza. It was always this company where it's like, back of the ear, like, something I was aware of. I just never really knew anybody who actually, at the time, who actually played any of these games or anything, or weren't annoying the fuck out of me. So, it was just like, I don't know, I heard about it, I just never really bothered with it. And then I'm starting to hear a lot of people go off about this game called Hades, and I'm like, I don't really know what this is. Like, I mean, I don't know. It looks sort of Diablo-esque like, but I wasn't sure about that. And then Dooms, actually, who unfortunately didn't want to be in this one because she hasn't beaten the game yet, but Dooms was like, hey, I just recommend, if you want a game to play and everything, I recommend playing Hades. And this was during COVID. This was during 2020. So I was like, alright, sure. I heard, because Hades was, like, out of everything, Hades was a game where it's like, I heard rumors about that. I heard talk about that. I heard some inkling about that it was early access beforehand and everything. And 2020 came around and it came out fully. So I was like, I played it. And by all means, I think for me, and I think for a lot of other people, Hades was the first, like, ever introduction to a genuine rogue-like. That I think it was just, like, that just spot on. Nowadays, I mean, like, you can't really throw a rock in the game library without hitting some new indie game in early access that's a roguelike of some kind. But, I mean, 5 years ago, bro, it's like, it was kind of almost it was a more of a rare, sort of untapped market, and I feel Hades really knocked it out of the park. And I've had this game I've had this game on Steam. I also had this game on Switch and PS4. That's how much I've loved playing this game. Even if that PS4 save data doesn't cross over, I still love playing this game through and through. And I was always just, I was just amazed by what they could be capable of and everything. I always questioned about whether or not they do a sequel. But when I looked into sort of the history and I heard, the fandom talk and everything, pretty much it just, I think I just came to that camp of like, Supergiant would never make a sequel to Hades just because they've never really made a sequel to anything else. So I just figured, okay, so if they ever do another game, it's not going to be Hades, but it's probably going to be fun, so I'll probably look into that. And then the Game Awards hit. the one where they were giving out free Steam decks, and it was like, wait, whole Supergiant game. And I was listening to the melody, I was looking at the silhouettes of the different characters. I was just like, this can't be it, right? This can't be Hades 2. And lo and behold, just the bass going ballistic over the reveal of Hades 2 is just like, man, it immediately took the internet and the fan base by storm. To the point where we go to the closed beta test. And admittingly, I probably would have never gotten a chance to do this if it wasn't for the fact of I downloaded it before midnight and turned off my internet. So I got a chance to play through this, and what I was introduced to was, by all means, a game that made me understand that, yeah, I know Hades 1 back to back to back, but I don't know Hades 2 for shit. Because I tried playing this like I did with Hades 1, and I found myself eating more shit than ever, bro. It was so much harder, it was so much more, in a lot of ways, it was systemically more different in compared to its predecessor. Which absolutely took me aback, just how, not just more stuff they added, but how fundamentally different playing this game is from the original. So when I got a chance to finally play the early access and see what this was about and actually see what they were cooking, I saw everything on display. I saw a lot of the bugs, I saw some of the glitches, which admittingly some of them were fun. Like I remember the day when they had stuff like Umber Flames, hey, we're gonna have you make an infinite tornado. That was, and that shit got patched, which is a shame, but I get it. But I also remember stuff like, hey, yeah, the safe zone when you're facing off against the final boss in the underworld, yeah, it's a 50-50. Sometimes it'll work as it does, but other times it's just gonna kill you. I remember that shit getting patched. I remember the placeholder art that they had for the longest time. I remember some of the placeholder tracks they've had for the longest time in place of other characters. The placeholder, like, I just remember a lot of this stuff being in development, and it was clear to me, first and foremost, that the way this game played to its creators was far more important than just how necessarily it looked. Because they had assets for characters, but it was always like, it always seemed last minute that they wanted to add everything for the artwork and more focused on, hey, does this game work? Which, considering some other black sheep of quote-unquote early access games I could name drop right now, that's actually kind of a nice change of pace, which that's also, like, in my eyes, I think a genuine nice change of pace in and of itself is just the fact that this was early access, because I don't know if anyone remembers or even knows about this, but early access games on Steam do get a genuinely notorious rep for being games that never release. Games that never come out. They're games that show up in early access, and a lot of times they're games just like, what you see here is just like, they're not going to release a 1.0 anytime soon. It's just going to be the early access, and they're going to ride it out until the sun don't shine. So, I would honestly say for this game, and even Hades 1, just seeing that these games actually did listen to community support. They actually took into account like new additions and things to remove or change up. They actually took their time, and they did not take for granted the position they were in with this game or anything. I just feel like it's a nice change of pace to have game developers who are not just passionate, that are actually serious and dedicated to the craft, as opposed to the number of other games that have come out in early access that are anything but. So yeah, like Hades 2 has impressed me in terms of a fundamental gameplay aspect, impressed me in terms of Supergiant as a company aspect, and overall, it just impressed me. And this is just genuinely, as a sequel, even in terms of being a standalone, it's a really good game, but as a sequel, it feels like such a spiritual successor in so many ways that it's just... I genuinely love playing this game. And yeah, I missed out on a few patches, admittingly, but that's just because of life. But ultimately, what I did play in early access and what I have played with 1.0, it has not failed to impress me. It has not failed to actually keep me entertained and keep me enjoyed, and it has not failed to be a challenge for me. Because this game, even in God mode, is fucking hard. It's not an absolute pushover in any way. Like, I genuinely have really loved this game. I've loved the music. Oh my god. The music being such a major, in so many ways, step up to the original. Just the various things that you can do with the different characters that you can either befriend or talk to. The different routes that you can go through in the game, from the overworld to the underworld, the different connections you can have from people of the past and people of new. Like, this game is really just... It just really has impressed me. There's nothing really else I can actually say. It's a good fucking sequel.
It is really good for a sequel. Their first sequel, and I would probably assume only sequel, unless they do want to make sequels for their earlier games. Please. Please. If I'm not begging you, Smug probably will. Supergiant.
Well, the thing is, right, about their other games is that Bastion could easily have one, right? But Pyre could never have one unless you want to undermine the entire game's premise. And I think Transistor could get one. So I think the only game that they really couldn't do one on is Pyre, but that's just like, without spoilers, it would just undermine the entire game.
Right.
In its same vein, I feel like, even without playing it, I feel like Supergiant is with their games as to what that game company is to their own. Where it's like, yeah, there could be sequels to this, but you're not really too excited for, hey, can we get another sequel to this style, as much as you're like, hey, can we get another game from you guys with the same kind of labor and love and even more?
Right.
Which game company?
That game company.
That game
yes,
company.
That game company for critically acclaimed game.
That game.
Yeah, that game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and to those who obviously do not get the joke, I'm not explaining it, because if you have to explain a joke, there is no joke. But real talk. Like, for those who don't know, that game company made Journey, they've made Flower, they made Flow, they made Sky Children of the Light, which is shown to be their most successful IP, mainly because it's a live service title that is continuing to go, and the only thing that you need to pay in that game is cosmetics.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad something like that is still going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's one thing I do want to, just not stress enough. It's that we can talk... I think if we want to talk about anything, we can talk about the casting in this game, because this has gotten... the casting on the whole has had an upgrade in comparison to the original, because I think for the most part, a lot of the voices in Hades 1 was in-house.
Yeah, a lot of Hades 1, the cast was in-house, and while those voices do return while those casts do return in Hades 2, they have branched out and gotten some quote-unquote new blood into there. Obvious being the Ben Starr for Prometheus.
Yeah, and he's
among
not the
others.
only one. Like, there's Judy Alice Lee as Malinoe, Amelia Tyler, aka the narrator in Baldur's Gate 3 as Hecate. There's Erin Yvette as Dora. There's Becca as Nemesis. There's Jason Morinoka as Odysseus. And many people might remember him as Dr. Wheelo in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
There's obviously the obvious one everyone's going to point out if you don't say it, so you might as well say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Starr as Prometheus, absolutely. And yeah, Colin Ryan as Apollo. Like Shelby Young as Arachne. Like there's a lot of voices throughout this story where it's like in Hades 2 it's like it was clear that they not only like upped the budget and everything, but it is clear that even on its own, like, yeah, sure, you could argue that Hades getting a sequel in and of itself is like, okay, that's fine. Other game series that aren't as popular have gotten sequels as well, true, but it just goes to show just how popular Supergiant became because of Hades. Yeah, because they were able to, like, not just get more people on board in terms of development, but they were also able to hire on more casting for the characters and whatnot that they couldn't be able to necessarily do as much before. Because I'm sure there were people that, you know, signed on to cast for the original Hades, but I mean, Supergiant back in the day is very much a case of, like, you can't really blame them for people in the industry going, like, who is Supergiant? But now, I mean, like, dude, if Supergiant ever decides to, and I'm kind of torn on whether or not I want this to happen, but if they ever do decide to make a Hades 3, which, you know, there's plenty of mythology you can work with there, I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll be like, oh, wow, and there's Supergiant game, and it's Hades. Oh, I would love to, like, actually be casted in that, so I'm just gonna audition.
Right.
It does.
Because Hades gave them their massive freaking boost in popularity. And it made people recognize that Supergiant actually was a thing now. You know, because that's the unfortunate truth about some indie developers is that they can make banger after banger after banger, but if they don't get any attention, dude, it's like if they don't get sales, the games could be amazing, but they'll eventually just vanish.
It will fade into obscurity if they don't get attention.
Yeah.
Right. Because money is the only way this thing keeps going, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll say it's kind of hard to not strike up a profit when your game is charged significantly less than most AAA titles.
I know, but at the same time, you also need, even if your game is like at $15 to $20, if you don't have eyes on your team or on your project,
Yeah.
you're pretty screwed. Like the Hollow Knight team said that it was horrifying how much work they put into the first Hollow Knight game because they had no exposure, they had no renown, no notoriety, nothing, and this was their first game, and it was a 2D, almost hand-drawn, beautifully animated Metroidvania, and it's like...
And lo and behold, people fucking loved it in time.
Right, but yeah, that I don't understand why they were so terrified, because it's like, dude, if this doesn't work, we just spent like 8 years of our lives and all of this money on something that's not gonna work.
It does bring up you do bring up a good point, because look, not every company can be another Hollow Knight. Not every company can make like a Silk Song and be a financial success just because it's lesser than most AAA games, if anything. Like, I mean, because now I'm thinking of like the number of other games, whether it be indie or AAA, that are fantastic with great art direction. It's just like, you know, it could have just flopped. Like, I mean, because I just think of like, who the fuck knew who Moon Studios was before Ori and the Blind Forest, you know?
Right, it's nothing that has to do with the game's quality. Yeah. The game could be amazing, but if the game doesn't have people buying it, the game's not profitable. And
Right.
therefore, it failed financially. Now, artistically, yeah, it's a masterpiece and it succeeded, but unfortunately, we don't live in a world where artistic merit can pay your bills.
Yeah,
Right.
like I mean, we live in a world where there was a time where something like Psychonauts was damn near almost doomed to discontinue and shut down.
Yeah, for a few years it did.
Yeah, and
For
and
almost 2 decades, right?
yeah, and it's a tale of irony because the people that damn near shut them down are the same people that gave them the second win that they needed. It was fucking Microsoft.
See,
And now-
and this doesn't just happen, and I know this is probably going to be very controversial, but this doesn't just happen to indie games. Sometimes it does happen to AA or AAA games.
Yeah.
It could be amazing, but just because they don't have attention, they vanish. Like Brutal Legend, for example, right?
Yep, and
Yeah,
there's
Brutal
also,
Legend.
you know, better or worse, there's also a number of licensed tie-in games. Like, okay, like, I mean, there was that SpongeBob game that I think only really got attention in current day just because IGN gave it a bad review.
Yeah, that
the-
was it.
The
But who-
collectathon.
Yeah,
that
the licensed
Oh, that-
THQ Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Oh, the
Yeah, which-
remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that which, you know, as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that game, but because people like IGN gave it a bad review, are like, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna buy it just to spite you.
Didn't that game get like 2 sequels now? Or is it just one?
I think
It
so.
might have.
Yeah, I don't know. It was back in the PS2 era, so it.
Well, I
might
know
have.
recently there was like SpongeBob game revealed or like a second one revealed or something else. Like, okay, so it's like they're redoing this now, okay?
Yeah, maybe.
But back on Hades.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. It even in terms of the sequel, I always kind of felt like it was sort of in that realm of being like it could have still been a flop because, yeah, I mean, Hades 1 was very popular, but it's always a possibility that this game is just not going to, not necessarily live up to the hype, but it's just not going to be as much of a success. And yeah, I think that the game itself, in every single way, is just, even now, I think it's trumping over so much of like the profits that Hades 1 is making.
Yeah, it's I do get where Supergiant was coming from with that initial fear, but they did kind of underestimate how much people really were happy with the idea of their first sequel and just went to town.
Also, I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. I don't want to say it's like goolery, but they did exploit sex appeal in this game.
That's another thing we probably should talk about. It's just how unique
I know
the sex
I know-
appeal in the game is in
Right.
comparison
no,
to
it's-
so
yeah.
many other titles.
Oh, no, it's not disrespectful or anything. That's what I'm saying. It's like they knew what they were doing.
Of course they
That is
did.
absolutely one of the reasons. This game is rated M, isn't it?
Either that or it's rated T for teen. Be a good T for teens
You know,
game, at least.
lynchings, right? Let's see. This should have ESRB rating, right?
Let's see.
The store page. Right, currently. Let's see it. Whatever. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much, you have everything but
Everything but
Everything but.
pretty much if there's not a character you can find that you like in this game. Problem.
and
It
but like we were saying, like is again the sex appeal in this is genuinely like I feel is so unique just because of how generic and stereotypical the sex appeal in stuff like AAA games and even overseas with the games that come out in China, Japan, South Korea have been. I don't know, it's like a lot of the times, because a lot of times when people consider like sex appeal in a video game, it is bombshell porn star body that's generally pale skin, flawless, big
it's still
tits,
like,
big asses, and like sultry voices. Whereas with Hades,
wait, what's wrong? What's wrong with Cat? It's Stellar Blade. That's what people think about when they think tyranny
Stellar
game.
Blade, Goddess of Victory, Nike, both made by the same company. And then there's also stuff like Nier Automata. I mean, like, even if people who haven't played the game will thirst over 2B.
Yeah. It's like for Hades 2, I feel like the appeal is, I mean, unless it's like the obvious Aphrodite, it's more subtle.
Aphrodite is the basic bitch one. Let's be real.
Like I said,
Aphrodite is the basic bitch one because you have characters, you know, disregarding their actual personality sometimes. You have characters like Apollo, you have characters like Hermes, you have characters... Hell, you have characters
Artemis.
like Demeter. Demeter's a gilf.
Okay. Hera.
Hera, Nemesis, Hecate.
We all know your approval of that.
Mm-hmm.
And many others.
So Sozo goes fair away time Hecate shows up on screen.
I'm half expecting Cyan to just pop into the call and go rabid. But
Comic Cutters, what?
What? Anyway. But yeah, not
Supplement?
It's like there's also, even if we go back to like Hades 1, there's heck, even for the male fans, there's Hades himself, Nyx.
Hades himself, to a degree. I mean, there's like characters like Patroclus and Achilles, Thanatos, like.
Look, Icarus. Icarus is cute.
Nyx also is a really good one.
Mommy.
Sorry.
Bro, dang, am I the only Icarus fan in here? Okay.
Hey,
bro, we were talking about Hades 1 here.
Is that nobody disrespects my boy Icarus around here?
Also, even as fucking much of a like petty ass, like fucking he can be. Hypnos also is kind of hot.
Enough. Hypnos is, well, that's part of the endearing quality of him is nice, because like, you are so sassy.
He's a sassy, sleepy bitch.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. Whereas
Hey,
with,
did
like,
anyone think that you shake him?
the fucking it's so aggravating, but until you realize, wait, no, it's very in character that this is. Have you tried waking him up?
Son of a bitch! No, we didn't.
But like back to like
have you seen the
what you're saying?
have you seen the potential man meme of Hypnos?
Oh no. Not again. It's spreading.
Oh man. But yeah, you were bringing up Icarus before, and it doesn't even stop there. We were talking about Prometheus earlier. Hell, the Cyclops, fucking
Heracles.
with Hera, without
Narcissus.
Yeah,
Narcissus.
yeah, he's hot.
Narcissus Cage.
Yeah, Narcissus Cage, which I'm still surprised nobody has made a mod of putting Nicolas Cage's portraits in there.
I still say they should have just kept the placeholder art over him for the entire on release.
You brought up Heracles.
Yeah, Heracles. Like, yeah, there is something for everybody in this game.
And if you take off the colors, it's Eris as well.
Sorry, you're right. Also, can I just address that again? I do not like Eris's design.
Oh yeah,
because it does not match her voice.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, it's...
She looks way too old to have as young of a voice as she does.
She sounds like Cassandra Lee Morris's Taiga in Toradora.
Oh,
yeah, that's... Yeah, it's not exactly the design I have a problem with, it's the voice. I feel like her voice should be older. Yeah.
I feel like with that design and a character like Eris, you would probably have the actress who played Eris in Billy and Mandy or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like Yeah, well, not the exact words, because that would get irritating really fast.
It's the same kind of vibe of like, what is it? Who's the actor in the Harley Quinn animated series for Bane? Who was like, I think, trying to do his best Tom Brady.
See.
It was like the, here's your card, the three of hearts. No, fuck.
I think it's James. I'm gonna butcher this so bad. James Adomian.
Yeah, like, but yeah, it's in the same vein of like, you want to take inspiration from something like that, that's fine. But I really feel, with characters, I think like a character like Eris, I really feel like there could have been some revision on her design.
I feel like, you know what, I think that if I could ever find it again, I think it's lost to time right now. But, I did like the fan art of that. It was like a very childish looking Eris, and I was like, yeah, that's a little shit.
Was it ever, I don't know, was it ever like artwork I showed when I made a clip out of it? Because I could probably pull that clip up.
Yeah, I think so.
Hang on, I'll try to find it. Let's see.
Yeah. But also, we were talking about sex appeal. We didn't even talk about the one thing that this series has over the goddamn Hades 1. Fishing with your comrades.
What if we added fishing squared?
Oh, and you can take a bath with them and everything in the hot spring. You know, it's whatever. But fishing.
Oh.
Yeah, screw going drinking at the bar with their homies fishing. That's good shit.
But yeah, this, and then there's also like I was bringing up the gameplay earlier. I mean, like the improvements this does to the original gameplay, not just in terms of like the obvious of like, oh, we have extra magic, but the newer combinations and like boons you can do with the same characters from before and different characters. It's just, you could have literally just, even for the previous characters, rehash what you had, but they legitimately went above and beyond to really just go like, no, that was Hades 1, this is Hades 2. So much so that, like, a lot of the stuff that I found myself working with Hades 1 that I could still do in Hades 2, I found myself moving away from.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Right, it's
I found it.
That one right there. But yeah, it's when I initially started.
Yeah, that was the one. I'll just pull it up and whatnot on the podcast and post.
Right.
That is more in line of what I would assume a bratty little chaos gremlin would look like and sound like, you know.
Yeah.
She looks too old.
You know what I would want for there to be a mod even as a joke? Give her Iron Mouse.
Oh,
just Iron Mouse in the most like shit posting meme version. Not even like beautiful artwork Iron Mouse. I'm talking like shit posting, like crude little drawing.
Yeah.
Iron Mouse. Give us that.
Just Foogie Iron Mouse.
Give us puppet, like just little plush puppet
Muppet.
Iron Mouse.
Little Muppet Iron Mouse.
A little Muppet Iron Mouse.
Marketable Iron Mouse.
Oh god, don't turn her into a marketable plushie.
What do you mean don't? They already did.
My god.
Just this.
But, okay, so going to the... Oh god.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
If I figure it out, I am literally going to have a field day with some of these portraits, I swear to god.
Oh no. It's gonna be a modded run Hades 2. Just portraits all of it.
Hey, don't tempt me.
He'll do it. Okay, so going back to gameplay, when I first started this, it was like you said, the stuff you would originally see yourself doing in Hades 1, like you do find yourself deviating away from all of that, seeing not only the old gods, but see what the new gods can do. honestly, especially in like the next update when they brought, I have never been more addicted to Ares boons than I have been
Right.
in Hades 2, and
Right,
I'm a
'cause-
guy who found Merciful End in Hades 1
Yeah,
twice.
In Hades 1, the most optimal like build I could ever make is Demeter, Athena, and Artemis. Those are like that's the most optimal set I can make. And in this, I am half the time doing none of those because almost every single run I have done, it has always been with Hera.
Right? The hitch is just something else. It's like you mix, but when it comes to like Ares and his blood drops, the minute you get his legendary and Hera's duo boon, you're just zipping around the arena. It's even funnier when you get the daggers.
Oh, this game is so much easier to break than Hades 1 is. You're gonna become very powerful very fast.
Oh yeah.
New run. All right, how am I gonna break this game over its knees? Oh, hey, Apollo, what's good?
Yeah, and that's starting getting into all of the different weapons right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, do we need to get into the freaking neck suit yet? Like, holy crap!
yeah.
The special on that weapon is so destructive. Especially when you have like specials hit for like this and spawns this, and it's like, holy crap.
I still find it funny how in Hades 1, okay, we have sword, shield, fists, and spear. And then the hidden weapon is just a frickin' gun. Here we upgrade to full-on exosuit. Well, you gotta get the obligatory outlandish weapon out of there, am I right?
Yeah, not to mention you were talking about how easy it is to break this game, bro. That isn't even to touch on the fucking aspects. Because the fucking, what was it, the Charon aspect, dude? With the cast.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't think I have ever preferred the cast in Hades 2 than I ever did when I was playing Hades 1. Because Hades 1 cast is very much, it's kind of an acquired taste. Because it's literally just, hey, throw it out, and then maybe you do some extra damage, but it's just like, unless you have that bitch, like, with an actual kind of boon attached to it, in my eyes, it just kind of felt pointless at times. Like, sure, probably some people found some use out of it, but in this, the cast is just a giant binding circle. It has a lot of different buffs to that in and of itself. It's like, they literally took the special you could do with King Arthur's sword in Hades 1 and just went, let's make that a mainstay of a mechanic.
Right.
Right.
It kind yeah, because Hades 2 to play is a whole lot faster and more hectic, where it becomes paramount to take full advantage of that binding circle.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that they turn the initial dash from a multi-dash into like a single dash, a single dodge into a dash.
Yeah,
So
and a full continuous sprint.
right. So it just makes it. So they did it in a way to show how different Millennium and Zagreus play.
Right.
Whereas Zagreus
Also-
is the get in, hit, get out type deal. It is the Millennium is, well, she's a witch. It makes sense. So thematic theming.
It's also that not only are they gameplay-wise different, they are very different, like, character-wise, because I feel like that was a worry I know a lot of people seem to have about Hades 2, was like, I don't think Malinois is gonna be as fun of a character as Zagreus, but like, well, yeah, I get it, because you know, Zagreus is literally, he's essentially Greek Deadpool. He's making jokes, he's not taking anything seriously, you know? But he has a heart to him, and he has like such a charisma, even when he's not cracking jokes. Like, I really like this guy, but thankfully, Malinois is just as well written as him.
In
Yeah,
a lot of ways,
she's-
I,
yeah,
I
she's
see
not-
her as an inverse to
Yeah, she's
like, 'cause
not. But that's because they grew up differently, so.
that, but also it's just like aside from that aspect, it's very much the case of like you can tell Malinois' heart is on her shoulders, whereas her more wit and sass is kind of just it's secondary.
It's
But
dry.
it's there.
Right.
It's there. Like the amount of instances she's had interactions with Skilla is just like
she takes shots at Skilla.
absolutely.
They are so petty.
It's in there. People just got to remember that. Oh, she was raised to be a child soldier in a way, a weapon against Kronos. So it's natural she would take things more seriously.
Yeah, and Zagreus got to grow up as a prince. Illinois had to grow up as a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep in mind, like, both characters are Nepo babies. It's just what they carry with them is actual character with them.
Right.
Like, Zagreus is just a Nepo baby that has gotten all the privileges and everything. But, throughout the game, he's working to get to a goal he wants to achieve. Whereas with Melonaway, in some way, she's a Nepo baby because she's getting trained by Hecate of all people. But, at the same time, she had worked her ass off to try and fight for a noble goal for her family and everything.
Yeah, it definitely shows in their character, and I just wish more people would realize that.
And thankfully, that's what I was trying to get to, is thankfully a lot of the fan base when Hades 2 came out were really, their worries were put to bed, because it's like, okay, Melonaway's a great character also. He's not like some edgy, brooding, too serious for your nonsense type of character. She actually knows how to have fun. He has, humanity to her, ironic as that sounds, because she's like a demigod. It's like, I feel like people were too worried that she was just going to be essentially Batman, but Grace,
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, like, I kind of felt like maybe they just gave her, like, the Supergiant specifically, they gave their writing team a little too credit where it's deserved, because it's just like, if you liked the writing for the women in Hades 1, you'll probably like their writing for Melonaway in Hades 2.
Yeah, but the thing is that you can never take anything any studio does for granted.
That is
because
true.
just because they made Hades 1 and it was good, Hades 2 could have been a disaster if they handled it wrong,
Yeah, that absolutely could have been the case. They could have absolutely
my point is, just because you can make Phantom Pain does not mean you would never make Survive. Okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, just because you made Doom 1 and 2 doesn't mean that you won't make Doom 3.
Hey, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Thankfully, if people have enough passion, it can come back. But it's like, for a 99% majority, that's not a possibility.
In my eyes, it's like, it also does bring up a good conversation regarding this game in Hades, is that a lot of the times, regardless of the franchise, you do have to ask yourself, what makes a good sequel? And a lot of the times, in my eyes, it boils down to, if there is enough here to work with that makes for an actual genuine sequel story, and it's done right, you can actually, like, touch on that. You can actually make it possible. But if it's something that feels supplementary, like it's literally, or it's the same thing again, it's like, oh yeah, Hades 2, we're dealing with Zagreus escaping to Olympus again. It's like, that's where I feel this game probably would have gotten shot in the foot, because it was not touching on anything that they could have done with the material they had in hand. Which, by the way, like, I don't think we've even touched on that, the fucking source material, and just how they're both adapting it and drawing reference from it.
Oh, I am so happy Supergiant actually, I'm about to really get annoying here, but as a native Greek immigrant, I am so happy Supergiant actually did their homework and they actually understand these characters. Now, yes, obviously they're not awful people like they are in the myth. Sure, obviously you can't make a game around that unless you're killing them. Okay. The the thing that I'm so happy about is it's not just the basic stuff, right? They will literally dig like deep into lore and pull out like very, very obscure characters from Greek mythos and be like, they're in the game now. And it's like, that is so cool to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not Greek, but I am a Greek weeaboo. So
Agreeable.
Agreeaboo.
There you go.
But I like, for better or worse, it was like I spent a number of my times in the past just kind of looking at Greek mythos and the various stories and whatnot. Like, I mean, I've seen what the West has produced. I've seen Hercules. I've played through God of War 1 through 3 and subsequent games and whatnot. And yeah, I am a fan of Persona 3. So I have seen what the like how Greek culture and like the mythos gets interpreted in other forms of media and whatnot. And you know, if you shut your brain off to it in a lot of ways, they can be fun games. Like, especially if you consider what God of War does to the Greek mythos. Like,
Well, God of War, I don't really have any, I don't have any negative feelings towards God of War because it's like, you know what you did, right?
Yeah,
It's
like-
cool. Like, there's no offense taken.
like
Why?
it's a game where it's like you're in the time period of like Greek gods and everything, and you're just
Right.
killing and enacting vengeance, yeah. And then you
Honestly,
got like
the only issue I think I would ever have with God of War is making Eris a bad guy.
Yeah,
although I think like it's hard to say anybody from their perspective, anybody in the Greek mythos in that game is a bad guy, considering, dude, Kratos is not a good person.
Oh,
No.
he never was.
He
No.
never
He never
was.
was.
He never was. The only exception to that is current day God of War, but even then, that doesn't necessarily make him a good person. That just makes him someone who has accepted his consequences and actions.
Yes.
Like, he is a good father, but that doesn't automatically mean that
Make
he
him
is
a
a
good person.
patron saint.
And that doesn't mean that we literally forgot that you destroyed all of Greece over a petty grudge.
Yeah, remember when you ripped off Helios's head? Yeah, oh, he'll make you remember that shit.
What did he do with it? I guess he threw it away.
And then there's...
He's got a new head.
Yeah, and then there's Disney's attempt, which is, like...
This
I
His
think...
attempt was fun. It's fun. That's harmless.
Okay, I will say this. I think the worst thing about it is that it's just generic and boring. The only saving grace
It's-
across the board, and you can
yeah,
ask anybody who's ever seen the
It's-
film, the only
it's
saving
James
grace
Woods.
is James Woods as Hades.
James Woods.
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's
It's
it.
literally. Okay, here's the thing though. It's literally you get exactly what you expect when you hear Disney's Hercules. That's what I'll say.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
get exactly what you expect. You get a Disney-fied version of Greek mythos, and that's why, Zeus is not a horrible person.
It's like
But by
Disney,
Disney standards, Hades is a bad guy, so.
it's like people getting mad at like the Emperor's New Groove for not being a representation of, what was it, Aztecian or Peruvian culture?
Okay, so I think it's Peruvian
Yeah, Peruvian
Yeah,
culture.
Peruvian.
or
Yeah, and it's
Incan,
like-
maybe something like that.
It was literally, it's in the same vein of just like, these are people that wanted to make a kind of by the numbers story, but the thing that carries the film is the casting. And for the most part, at least like key actors and actresses and whatnot.
The main story of Emperor's New Groove is so forgettable.
Oh yeah,
And that's why you barely remember the main plot, but you remember quotes, you remember funny moments, you know?
Yeah,
You remember Patrick Warburton?
How'd you get here before us? How did we get here, Kronk?
Well, you got me.
You
By
got
all
me.
accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
what-
like
that's the type
it
of
even
stuff you
hits
remember.
harder when you realize that that film ditched its script like almost instantly because it was initially going to be about something else, and they were like, no, let's just make jokes.
Oh yeah, there was like Kingdom of the Sun or something, and
Yeah,
Yzma
it was
had
like,
a song
I
for Snuff
think
Out the Light.
Yeah, I think it was like a project that Eartha Kitt was passionate about. But
Yeah, it was.
yeah, but yeah, it's I don't know. That's a talk for another day. But I mean, like in regards to like Hades, I mean, it's just I think it's just opened a lot of people's eyes, and especially to people who've only known of Greek mythos as, hey, the people from the God of War game and the Disney's Hercules story, and those are like those JoJo stands in Persona 3, right? Like that's about the extent, more or less, of a lot of people's knowledge on it. I mean, okay, to be fair, there is Billy Mandy, which I think has a pretty one-to-one accurate retelling of the Pandora story, which is literally, mind you, to anyone unaware,
Open my box.
the Pandora
Let's go.
story in Billy Mandy is Pandora was minding her own business. The guys were like, hey, check it out, you know it'd be funny? They give her a box, she opens it, all hell breaks loose. Like, yeah, isn't that funny?
And the funny, it was not funny.
Maxwell Adams did his fucking research, dude. The gods and goddesses in Greek mythos are selfish, petty assholes, except for insert blank here, but they're the exception.
Yeah, the Greek gods were just not the best people.
Well,
Like,
you say that, but dude, Athena literally cursed Medusa because she got raped on the steps of her temple.
Yep.
Or the
Cursed
steps
Medusa.
of Poseidon's temple or something.
yeah, cursed Medusa, cursed fucking
Arachne.
Arachne. Yeah, like the reason why I say insert blank here is because there are characters you can pull from that aren't necessarily like bad people. They're just imperfect. Like, I don't think Icarus was ever a bad person.
No, he was just prideful. But
Yeah,
that's
it's just-
humanity. Yeah.
He like, I know the story of Icarus is very much in the case of like, yeah, if you have too much hubris, you'll fall flat. I honestly took it as, don't be a fucking idiot.
Essentially.
Like, legitimately, you were to he can have that kind of pride, just don't fly too close to the fucking sun. That's it. He would have gotten away with it.
Don't be stupid. Oh, look, he was stupid.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's just interesting that, like, for the most part, I feel this kind of, like, I would argue what MCU kind of did with the comics and the movies, in that, yeah, there's a lot more new interpretations, there's changes, alterations, that in a lot of ways better fit a modern audience. But yeah, a lot of this stuff doesn't happen in the comics or anything, and in some cases, a lot of people are kind of glad that this didn't happen. It's the same way with Hades, where it's like, yeah, Zeus is a horrible fucking person, but I don't think people who play Hades 1 or 2 want to see Zeus in Greek mythos. I think they just want to see Hades Greek mythos.
That's the thing, is that they just, I feel like that's the thing, is that people don't play Hades for lore accurate, right? They're like, I want to see, because obviously, the thing is that Hades never really says that it's cast on awful people. It's just you're always seeing them from Zagreus or Melinoe's perspective, you know? You're seeing them from a family perspective, just like Zagreus and Melinoe would.
I mean,
So you have no way of knowing. And Hades kind of alludes that Zeus is kind of a douchebag.
yeah. Melinoe thinks Skelly is this all, like, powerful and noble commander. He's a masochistic fucking skeleton hired by Charon.
And when it's brought up to Zachary, he's like, "Oh, is that right, huh? Yeah, well, I'm sure."
All right, tell me where you came from, or I swear I'm not going to hit you. You wouldn't dare. I swear. You better tell me where you came from, otherwise there will be nothing but peaceful talks between us.
All right. Hey, twist the guy's arm off.
Yeah.
I think the only one of the few that were quote unquote consistently across the board was like Heracles, because he comes off as this jaded man who's basically doing his 9 to 5 for Olympus. When you remember that.
Oh, they keep freaking, even in Mythos, right? That's the thing, is that they keep freaking. Heracles wants to be with his family, right? He wants his mother's approval. He wants to be part of Olympus as a full god, right?
Yeah.
They keep bullshitting this man, like, oh, if you do this thing, and if you do this thing, and if one more thing. And
then Hera's whole thing with driving him mad and making him kill his own family. And then when you come into the first area with Hera's boon and run into Hercules, oh, she gave you her blessing. Just like that. Like, you can feel the rage building up in him. Like, I like that.
I just want there to be I know it's not in the game, but I want there to be a moment where, like, Hera just kind of, like, goes against her and everything. And then you see, like, Heracles come up and like, hey, I heard that goddess kind of turned against you, huh? Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, sucks, don't it?
Sucks, doesn't it?
It's just that little bit of catharsis for it. Like,
I don't know. I'll manage somehow. I can't be mad at you.
I can't be mad at you. But
it's like, Lord knows he tries.
But I mean, we talk about it, but it's very interesting, just like what Supergiant really decided to do on the whole with the approach. Because I mean, like, there are like various characters throughout the story. Like, I mean, I think the easiest one would have been to do, hey, let's take the most popular figures from Greek mythos and everything, and then let's just have this be sort of a self-insert kind of roguelike or everything. No, these are, like, even regarding the main characters, these are actual characters in Greek mythos, and, you know, whether or not it's, you know, interpretation or entirely not seen in the story or anything, blah blah blah, not lore accurate, yada yada yada. Like, it's still something where it's just like, you can tell, yeah, they did their research, but it wasn't to be like, alright, we have to be like how Assassin's Creed kind of was at the start, where we're doing historically accurate tellings of the story. No, this is more along the lines of, yeah, we're using the story of the story of the world, the characters of Greek mythos, and we're just gonna go off of that for a lot of it.
Right, just putting their own little spin on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like it. It's just really fun.
Yeah.
It makes you really feel like, you know, these people, but they're family. They may be a strange family, but they still care about each other, you know?
Right.
I mean, it in some way redeems Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Oh boy. We're not here to talk about Greek mythology, though, so.
I mean, are we not?
Remember where we are.
You brought up, like, Russia, you brought up, like, Heracles as one of the characters is more accurate to, like, Greek mythos. In my mind, I think a lot more of the sort of incarnates or advents of, like, certain aspects of the world and everything are more, are also kind of one-to-one. Like, Nyx, Selene, fucking Chaos. I think they're more in line with what you would kind of expect in a Greek mythos.
Right.
Like, they're not bad, they're not good, they just kind of are.
Yeah, they are. It's not even that they're neutral, they just exist.
Yeah. Like, Nyx has a ton of sons and brethren, and same with Selene in her own way, but they're not going for moms of the year. They mainly are just overseers.
Yeah. With chaos deep within the primordial ooze, just watching over all as an experiment.
I would even argue it's just entertainment at this point. Like, it's just
Also,
he's watching all this shit in TV.
Can I address something? Freaking... I'm sorry, I don't care how they try to explain it. It's still stupid. How did Kronos trick Chaos of all people?
To be fair, whoever got the bright idea in trying to trick a primordial being such as Chaos into giving what he wants? I think that's a lack of, like, intelligence and a matter of just, like, a lack of experience with that kind of shit.
Even Kronos was like, I didn't think it would work, to be honest.
I don't know. Never thought I'd get this far, honestly. That's essentially why that war keeps going. It's just like,
yeah,
now that I've tricked Chaos, I have control over Typhon. Now what? I don't know.
There was that, and it's just, I'm so disappointed how little the fates actually mattered.
Yeah.
Like I get his whole plan of taking the fates. It's like, that's right, now none are beholden to fate anymore. And a golden age and all that.
Yeah,
okay.
But the thing, because you see, I feel like that plot point was supposed to be bigger, and then it just, like, vanished. Because, yeah, it makes sense.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, in the first game, it was very much a segment of, like, yeah, this is something special you can do. But in the second game, they clearly want to make the Fates more involved in the story. At the very least, it was intended, and I still think it is intended for the true ending.
Right, well, I mean, I don't mean to cast aspersions, but their sprite kind of speaks, like, volumes of how little, like, her actually mattered. Oh.
Honestly, that's not how I would have expected them to look.
Yeah, me neither, like...
Oh, I'm so sorry I spoiled that, didn't I? Dang, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you spoiled the fact that Fates, characters that were in Hades 1 and 2, were gonna be in Hades 2. Oh.
Would have actual designs.
Oh, damn. It's almost like it's almost like this game is tied to Greek mythos or something.
Oh, also, at the same time, it's just, they really, like, they have outlines of designs, but I doubt Supergiant are making DLC or a third game, so this is all you kind of get.
And if by some miracle they do, then hey.
I mean, we might get didn't they, I don't know if this was during the release, but I think they might have added in Hades 1 Demeter post-game release. So
they might.
Maybe?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I mean, they updated for some reason. I guess they updated the game's ending somewhat to be somewhat like written differently in comparison to how it used to be when it first released. So maybe we will get something, or I don't know. Maybe like I don't know.
Well,
maybe there's just
the interesting thing is Chaos mentions that they are similarly on this the similar plane as he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, so how powerful are the Fates then? Obviously very if they control, you know, literally the entire motion of the world.
I just like the idea they are the omnipotent entities of the Greek mythos. One of them has a fucking yardstick, by the way.
I get the
like a meter stick.
I get it. Measure the thread. Oh, you're
right.
funny.
Because the weaving, measuring, and severing. Right. It's the 3 stages.
I know that is the significance, but I'm just like it's just like one of them has a scissors to sever the threads of fate. One of them has a spool to weave the threads of fate together, and the third one, I have a measuring stick. Ooh.
I've got a ruler.
What you gonna do now?
Your
Smack
sister
her
is
in
a
the head.
dork. Yes, but she's our dork.
Damn it, we love her anyway. She's trying her best. Shut up.
Also, they clearly refer to the Fates as three sisters, right? So, there's something about one of their designs that kind of worries me of why they don't have a full design.
Speaking of designs,
I mean, you could argue one of them is trans.
Oh, well, true. That's very true. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't think about that.
He's like, you know what? That's fair.
Short. Honestly, though, you could also argue that that's the three stages of life: child, adult, and elderly.
I thought you were just gonna say old. But yeah, that does fit. That is a more thematic way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's.
I didn't mean to get off. I didn't mean to get us off on a tangent.
I mean,
Oh yeah, please don't get us off on a tangent about Hades 2 in our podcast of Hades 2.
I mean, it was in line with the podcast, so it's
Right.
fine.
The thing is that there were a few things that I wish to got a little more attention, and I feel like the Fates kind of could have used more attention, but at the same time, you're trying to juggle like 4 different plot threads at one point, you know? So it just
So-
feels like that would have been even more on top of that. Because at one point, you're trying to take care of Olympus, defeat Kronos, find a way to defeat them permanently, and then find a way to defeat Typhon permanently. And then just finding the Fates on top of that would have felt a lot, just like a lot, you know?
Yeah. So, like, we
Although,
already had,
in your defense, I mean, finding the Fates is literally the
It's
post-game
literally the first thing
content.
you get.
The
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
it is the first thing you get, but it's also legitimately the primary objective once you defeat Typhon.
In the
and
post-game.
Kronos. Yeah, in the post-game, it's a primary objective. So, I don't think you're in the wrong there. I feel like, you know, for a post-game, that could have been a bigger center of attention. At the same time, you could also argue that for Hades 1, where it's like the whole foreshadowing of the war on Olympus and everything over being tricked, it could have been done better.
Yeah,
I-
because I'm not gonna spoil it in its entirety, but what it amounts to, right, when you actually do finally find the Fates, is just good job, Millenway. Maybe Hades 3 will happen, and then the cutscene ends. And I'm like,
What?
was that all? Are you serious?
Okay, bye.
It's
Yeah.
it's the equivalent of if Venture Time was a 3D game, where it's just like by the end of it, you find what you're looking for, and it's like, oh, so is there going to be anything more? Nope, that's it. Roll credits. What?
What?
But
I think I've gotten all my points out that I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to spoil like a lot of
Like
of the game. I want to say enough. I want to say enough to make people
Yeah,
interested to
like-
go get it.
I mean, I'm like, that's the kind of part of why I'm not exactly going full in detail with everything right now. But if we want to keep this going, I mean, hey, let's talk about some of the gameplay. I mean, for instance, we got rid of the Mirror of Night and instead have a tarot card telling.
I'd like that. It does fit in
Also-
with the theme.
Also, I do want to just draw attention to, back to the Fates for 1 second. Their voice actors are hilarious. I love them to death. I can't wait for you guys to see them.
All right.
Yeah, and you too can hear them too if you play and buy Hades 2, available
Hades
now.
2.
Available now to
just,
buy.
And don't just go look it up on YouTube, you freaking coward. Play the game.
That's cheating.
Support Supergiant.
Don't be a bunch of fucking bitches, all right?
No,
Here, you
no,
know
it's
what?
your
First
coward.
sequel that Supergiant has come out with, won Best Action Game of the Year this year, and you decide to puss out and just look up walkthroughs and videos of people playing it on YouTube. How fucking dare you? Shame! 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 Shame!
Instead of plugging my stuff, how about I just post this? Right now on Steam, Hades 2 is on sale for like $22. You have no excuse, go buy it. All of their games are on sale.
And, cause I'm releasing this on Christmas. If it's all stays like that, which it probably will, you'll have until January 5th. So, go buy it. Go do it now. Do it. Go give Supergiant your money. Go right now, stop listening to this podcast, and give Supergiant money! Give them money! Give them money! They need it now!
Listen.
Give them money!
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, you freaking balling gamer. Put Call of Duty 7 back on the shelf and go home and buy Hades 2.
There you go. There you go.
I know what you're looking at, but Black Ops 7, go put it away. Put it back on the shelf.
You can buy Expedition 33 later. Get Hades 2 now.
You can. They use AI anyway. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
Pre-orders for Divinity are not out yet. Get Hades 2 now.
I'm Sozo. No, I'm kidding.
Mega Man isn't coming out till 2027. Get Hades 2 now.
You're
Onimusha not coming out until 2026.
you motherfucker.
We still don't have a price tag for that, so get Hades 2 now!
Phantom Blade
Why
Zero.
say it not have a price tag? Isn't it coming out like March?
We don't have a price tag for it yet still.
Oh, so isn't it coming out in March?
They said 2026.
Oh, just okay.
That's what pisses us off.
Yeah.
I wanna know how many of Sozo's viewers are balling gamers and just got really mad.
Anyway. But yeah, like, in regards to, like, just the gameplay and stuff, I mean, there's also, there's the magic system, which, you want to talk about what changed up the gameplay fundamentally. Dude, like, I am so used to just tapping buttons in Hades. Like, when I started this, it was so strange to just hold action buttons just to do actions, man. And the fact that they do so much in your run and everything, and the fact that it has a cost to it, like, it's so intriguing.
Right. They add mana management in this game, and it just you just come fresh off of like Hades 1 expecting to do it like the Bloodstone cast. It's just like it just rewires your brain and you're not ready for it. But once it clicks in, it becomes a much more enjoyable experience every run.
Even stuff like Prime, which at first I was like, I don't want to do this because it just seems pointless. It's like you're just putting a mana cap on my bar. I want more mana. But then I got the fucking boon that's like, oh yeah, anytime you run out of mana, whatever you prime, that's what you get. I'm like, now I see the wisdom in that. Now I understand why this mechanic is here.
It's like, okay, it's starting to make sense, yeah.
Also, one thing I was personally disappointed by, we never see Daedalus.
Oh shit, that's right. We never see Daedalus.
Yeah, and they answered is like, okay, then who the fuck? Like, okay, so he's retired. Who the fuck is throwing the hammers all around? Oh, it's Icarus.
So why not just call them Icarus hammers or stuff? Oh, I don't want to. I'm not that arrogant.
Okay, I don't mean to interrupt, but I gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we were finishing up anyway, weren't we?
I mean,
Oh, wow, we have been going on for over an hour. Honestly, I don't really know. Is there anything else we can really say?
Without spoiling everything, without spoiling everything, or without going into like extremely nitty-gritty details of hey, this weapon does this, and this build goes here, and you know.
Yeah, and I don't want to
Right.
get into that. So I will just say this. Like, Hades 2 is, in my eyes, just Hades in general, in my eyes, is just like, is one of the best roguelikes that got me interested and invested into this genre as a whole. And in and of itself, it is just, like, from the start, it has been a game that has got me through some genuinely tough times, considering I got in 2020. And it is just overall in a sea of games that are live service, have microtransactions, and so on. It is just so satisfying to come across a game that is just mainly offline and single player through and through. It's just a fun, enjoyable experience, faults and all. It's just 100%, like, if nothing else, I 100% at least say, like, just take a look at it sometime. Like, get invested into it. It is 100%, like, it's a game that tests your intellect in environmental situations and whatnot, and certain interactions and everything, and it by all accounts, it punishes weakness and ignorance and promotes skill. The best kind of game. So, yeah, by all means, I would say, if you can, go on to Steam and buy it. Like, it's on sale right now.
Yeah, it's definitely something worth your time.
Yeah, but...
And obviously, I would love for us to make, like, a more dedicated video for Hades 2. Honestly, I wouldn't maybe say not like a podcast episode, but, you know, something we could actually deep dive into everything about it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I might do a project or something like that down the line, but that would probably take me a lot of fucking time if I'm gonna do something like that. The reason why I like the podcast is just because it's easier. But
Well, obviously, but I mean, it could be in the format, like, you know.
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. That's a project that's gonna need a lot of love though. So, but yeah, that's in the meantime, that is gonna do it for us. If you have played Hades 2 and everything, what are your thoughts on the game and everything? Like, what do you think is gonna be next in line for Supergiant? You think it's gonna be a sequel of sorts? Do you think it's gonna be an entirely new IP down the line, or I don't
Do you
know,
think
it's
it will
just-
be Hades 3?
Yeah, do you think it'll be Hades 3? And overall, it's just like, if you've really enjoyed your time with Hades, whether it be 1 or 2 or both, or even regarding, like, if you have some problems with Hades, like, you know, just let us know. And, yeah, so thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next time on the podcast. So, take care. Peace.
Peace.
Zero.
You know it's an eye for eye.